हेलीकॉप्टर्स जो होंगे उनके निर्माण के साथ साथ उनके मरम्मत का भी कार्य किया जा सकेगा यहाँ पर। तो इस लिहाज से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और सिर्फ ये HAL में का जो कारखाना है उसको ही सिर्फ प्रधानमंत्री राष्ट्र को समर्पित नहीं कर रहे हैं, बल्कि यहाँ पर एक औद्योगिक टाउनशिप की आधारशिला भी प्रधानमंत्री रखेंगे। और ये 4,884 एकड़ में फैली हुई औद्योगिक टाउनशिप का विकास 3 चरणों में होगा। तो फिलहाल जो ये लाइट कॉम्बैट हेलीकॉप्टर्स की बात हो या जो लाइट यूटिलिटी हेलीकॉप्टर्स हो और आत्मनिर्भर रक्षा क्षेत्र में निर्भर भारत की जब बात होती है तो ये निश्चित तौर पर एक मील का पत्थर साबित होगा। हमारी संवाददाता नंदिता डागर इस पूरी खबर पर बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई है। नंदिता, आपसे जो HAL का ये कारखाना है इसकी खासियत के बारे में तो जानेंगे ही, पहले अपने दर्शकों को बता दें कि ये जो एक प्रोटोटाइप, एक मॉडल प्रधानमंत्री को सौंपा गया है हेलीकॉप्टर का, और यहाँ पर उन्होंने इसको राष्ट्र को सौंपने की इसको लोकार्पण करेंगे हेलीकॉप्टर कारखाने का प्रधानमंत्री। साल 2016 में इसकी नींव भी प्रधानमंत्री ने रखी थी। तो कितना खास, कितना महत्वपूर्ण, और रक्षा क्षेत्र में जब हम आत्मनिर्भरता की बात करते हैं तो उसके लिए कितना बड़ा ये कदम देख रही नंदिता?
है जो आजादी के अमृत काल में हमें 2047 में एरोस्पेस इंजीनियरिंग और मैन्युफैक्चर में, यानी कि न सिर्फ फौजी लड़ाकू विमान, फौजी हेलीकॉप्टर, बल्कि यहाँ तो केवल हेलीकॉप्टर ही बनाए जाएंगे ऑब्वियसली, लेकिन न सिर्फ फौजी हेलीकॉप्टर बल्कि जो सिविल नागरिक उड्डयन के हेलीकॉप्टर हैं, साथ में पूरे मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड, उसके लिए ये कारखाना है। इस देश का सबसे बड़ा कारखाना निखिल, और ये 2047 में मेक इन इंडिया, मेक फॉर द वर्ल्ड, इंडिया को एरोस्पेस मैन्युफैक्चर में, इंजीनियरिंग में, इकोसिस्टम में सुपर पावर बनाने जा रहा है। तो 2016 में, जैसे आपने ठीक कहा, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने HAL के इस कारखाने की नींव रखी थी, और उन्होंने ही आज उन्हीं को ये, जैसे कि वो कहते हैं कि ये मेरा बड़ा सौभाग्य होता है कि जिन प्रोजेक्ट्स की मैं आधारशिला रखता हूं उनको मैं इनॉग्रेट भी करता हूं, क्योंकि ये सरकार रिफॉर्म और परफॉर्म, ट्रांसफॉर्म के मुद्दे पर चलती है। तो बड़ी हाई स्पीड पर जैसे काम होता है। और ये जो कारखाना है ये स्टैंडर्ड 4 इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड, यानी कि सबसे हाई टेक्निक, और इस कारखाने के अंदर अगले 20 सालों में निखिल 1000 हेलीकॉप्टर्स बनाए जाएंगे। जैसे कि आपने देखा HAL के CMD, जिनका कल हमने इंटरव्यू भी लिया था, मिस्टर CB अनंत कृष्णन, उन्होंने लाइट यूटिलिटी हेलीकॉप्टर का मॉडल, छोटा सा मॉडल, मिनिएचर मॉडल प्रधानमंत्री मोदी को गिफ्ट किया। तो इसमें जो ये है कि शुरुआत में तो ये कारखाना लाइट यूटिलिटी हेलीकॉप्टर ही बनाएगा, करीब 30 हेलीकॉप्टर्स प्रति साल। फिर इसकी जो कैपेसिटी है वो 6 हेलीकॉप्टर्स प्रति साल कर दी जाएगी। उसके बाद 90 की पीक कैपेसिटी अटेन करेगा। और ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ ये लाइट यूटिलिटी हेलीकॉप्टर ही निर्मित करेगा या निर्माण करेगा, उसके अलावा लाइट कॉम्बैट हेलीकॉप्टर, इंडियन मल्टी रोल हेलीकॉप्टर, क्योंकि उनका भी निर्माण करेगा 3 से लेके 15 टन तक के, यानी बहुत ही भारी वजनी हेलीकॉप्टर जो होते हैं उनका भी निर्माण यहाँ किया जाएगा। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जैसे कि निरीक्षण कर रहे हैं हेलीकॉप्टर्स के पुर्जे का, पूरे हैंगर के अंदर जाके जो हैंगर असेंबली है वहां पर। और ये जो 3 से 15 टन के हेलीकॉप्टर्स हैं वो सिर्फ फौजी हेलीकॉप्टर्स नहीं होंगे, बल्कि आप जानते हैं निखिल की प्रधानमंत्री मोदी का जो एक बड़ा एजेंडा रहा है कि उड़े देश का आम नागरिक, यानी कि उड़ान योजना, तो उसके लिए हमारे
And our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor is also with us on the broadcast. Abhishek, this is being looked at as a very big move to boost India's defence sector. Prime Minister at HAL's helicopter factory inauguration. Take us through the details and what it aims at.
Oh, well, that's a huge moment, Suresha. In the pictures, we are seeing Prime Minister Narendra Modi being briefed about the factory, the facility, which has come up in Tumakuru, very close to Bengaluru. So essentially develops an entire aeronautics ecosystem. Remember, Bengaluru has been a hub of the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the public sector company that is involved with the manufacture of aircrafts in the country. Prime Minister now taking a look at one of the LUH light utility helicopters that this facility would be producing initially, though of course later. This helicopter that the Prime Minister is seeing is a 3-ton class, or weighs about 3 tons, and it's a single-engine, multi-purpose utility helicopter like the Cheetahs that we have had. Cheetahs have been aging, and there had been demand to sort of phase them out and get their replacement. So LUH filling that gap, and apart from that, of course, subsequently the factory is going to begin with LUH that we saw in the pictures, and a replica of which was given to the Prime Minister. Subsequently, of course, we are going to see other helicopters that are indigenously developed, including, for example, the light combat helicopter, which was revealed just about a couple of months back, or the multi-role helicopter, all indigenously developed in India. So LCH, LUH, MRH, and of course the advanced light helicopter, which has been there for a while, being manufactured at other facilities of the HAL, would be manufactured here as well. It is believed, Suresha, that by the time this factory is completely up and running, this would have in its life cycle over the next 20 years manufacturing about 1,000 odd helicopters, both for indigenous use within the country and exports as well. And these would be the helicopters would be ranging. This is the smallest one, about 3 tons, which, as I said, is a multi-utility sort of helicopter, and then the big ones of about 15 tons, and all the technology, most advanced technology there. The interesting bit is obviously that this is part of India's indigenous technology drive aimed at making our defense sector really Atmanirbhar, and that's an important aspect of this facility that has come up, which, as I said, over the next 2 decades would be making 1,000-odd helicopters for the use within the country, and in some cases exports as well. Remember, for example, Prime Minister had just about a couple of months back in November inaugurated or laid foundation of a facility in Gujarat, in Vadodara, where transport aircraft would be manufactured, and now we have this facility where helicopters would be manufactured, and this is going to come at a huge investment and aimed at generating about 5,000 to 10,000 jobs in the region. And as I said, given the fact that this is close to Bengaluru, which is already a hub for the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, this 600 plus acres facility is going to make the entire region from Bengaluru to Tumakuru an integrated hub for aeronautics development, attracting perhaps other industries as well. What is expected is that over the next 2 decades, this facility alone is going to generate, it is expected that it would generate business worth about 4 lakh crore rupees. And that's a tremendous amount of money circulating there for the region's economy, and of course adds that much value to India's defense preparedness and defense manufacturing prowess. So in that sense, we have seen over the last few years India's defense expenditure increasing, at the same time India's defense exports also increasing, Suresha, with a lot of focus coming in on indigenous manufacturing and looking for markets. So be it BrahMos, which has been jointly developed with the Russians, or in this case, the light combat aircraft. All these. So if you look at it, for example, in 2014, the defense exports of the country were just about $250 million, something like 3,000 crore rupees, or actually less, about 2,500 crore rupees, which now stand about 15 to 16,000 crore rupees, and that gives you an idea of how much focus has been put in by this government on making sure that in defense manufacturing our capabilities increase by leaps and bounds. An example of which, of course, is this helicopter manufacturing facility, which has come up in Tumakuru today, being inaugurated by Prime Minister there. Of course, Prime Minister, apart from inaugurating this facility, has also launched the India Energy Week in Bengaluru. And now in the pictures, we are seeing him being welcomed by the Karnataka government there. We have Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai there and other ministers, as Defense Minister Rajnath Singh looks on, a traditional headgear being given. And it is expected that after this, Prime Minister would be making his address and talking about not just this facility, but overall focus that has been there in the recent past on making sure that India's defense preparedness has that indigenous edge. So, for example, at this space itself, and remember, all these aircrafts are going to go to the IAF primarily, and so say about 200 or light helicopters, light combat helicopters, of which roughly 2/3 to the Indian Army and about 1/3 to the Indian Air Force, and these would be sort of replacing, I believe, as I was mentioning, the Cheetahs and the Chetaks that have been around for a while and have been aging and need replacements. And there is, in fact, I'm told, already a contract between the IAF and the Army and the HAL to deliver those LCH also in the quickest possible time. And there's a total projected requirement of almost like 1,000 helicopters between various services over the next 2 decades. So all those to be taken care of with this facility here. And the multi-role helicopter, for example, would also be manufactured at Tumakuru, apart from the light utility helicopter and the light combat helicopter, Suesha. The light combat helicopter Prachanda was revealed, remember, for the first time at this year's Republic Day parade, and was in fact unveiled just about 6 months back. And that's also going to be manufactured at this facility. So in sum, and the Prachand is expected, to sort of replace the Mi-17 choppers, the vintage Russian choppers that the Indian Army has been using. And in fact, there is possibility of these choppers finding markets abroad. So essentially, what we are seeing is a very big leap being made there in terms of not just one particular facility coming up, but a big boost to India's defense preparedness with an indigenous component and hence Atmanirbhar edge.
Absolutely, Abhishek, and the larger point also is that this will create an ecosystem for further employment opportunities, because the factory's proximity to the existing HAL facilities in Bengaluru will boost the aerospace manufacturing ecosystem in the region and support skill and infrastructure development such as schools, colleges and residential areas. And this really calls for larger development on every front. And we are cutting across to more breaking details coming in. A second 7.5 magnitude earthquake